Welcome to JC's Stocks and Markets podcast for June 3rd, 2023. I am JC. I've been investing in the stock market for 40 plus years. Make good trades and investments and some not so good. My intentions with these podcasts are to share my unique thoughts and opinions on individual stock and ETF picks with an emphasis on dividend-paying securities, which are my favorites. The idea is to share my thoughts, possibly give you, the listener, some investment ideas so you and I can maybe make some money. I'm not doing this for income, nor am I trying to earn any advertising revenue from anyone. I just enjoy doing this and hope to share some chances to make a little money along with you. During some shows, we may stray into other topics or news that affect stocks or ETFs that we are discussing. That could include government and politics, Federal Reserve policies, current events, or just thoughts that rattle around in my head. The opinions in these podcasts are my own, and they're just that, opinions. I invest in many of the stocks and ETFs that are featured in the podcast, including today's, and I will try to let you know if I have or will establish a position in the securities. Disclaimer, by all means, everyone has to do their due diligence, their own due diligence, prior to investing any money into anything. These stock picks are no exception. Do your own due diligence. With that, let's go make some money. Today's security that we're going to talk about is Cohen & Steers REIT and Preferred Income Fund, ticker RNP. It's a closed-end balanced mutual fund, which was put together by Cohen & Steers. It invests in public equity and fixed income devices in the United States. It looks to invest in companies operating in real estate and real estate investment trusts. For its fixed income portfolio, the fund typically invests in debt and preferred securities of companies operating across diversified sectors, including banking. Basically, they use fundamental analysis to create its fixed income portfolio, try to find good companies with good paying preferred and debt instruments. That's their strategy, and they use a lot of leverage. They use quite a bit of leverage to get the returns they get, which you'll see later on in this podcast. As you can see, the largest top 10 holdings: Prologis, American Tower, Welltower Incorporated, Realty Income Corporation, Digital Realty Trust, Simon Property. You can see it's real estate, and it's also preferred in debt from those companies and much other companies. I would go onto the Cohen & Steers site and look at the actual listing of holdings to get a better feel for what they invest in. As you can see from the average annual returns, this year or 1 year has been really rough, and that's kind of why I'm looking at. I own some of it. I bought some just recently. Decent position. Going to hold on to it because of the dividend, monthly dividend payout. But as you can see, the 3-year, 5-year, 10-year since inception, pretty good returns based on total return of the RNP. The beta on RNP, as you'll see in the next slide, not this one, is a little more than 1. I think it's a little higher than that, and this is from the Cohen & Steers site. They have a little over $1.4 billion in assets, but they're leveraged to about 32%. They use leverage as well as some options to ensure income, and their monthly distribution is 13.6 cents per share, which is a little more than 9%. I guess it's about that, plus or minus. But you can see manage assets expense ratio, common assets expense ratio, pretty high, but the return at 8% or 8+% from inception is pretty good. I like it. Monthly dividends, if you're a retiree, you've got a pretty good steady stream of income, and that income, that 13.6%, that's slowly increasing over time. Usually I go over stocks basic information up front. This one I wanted to hold off on. This week, Cohen & Steers has gone up. This has gone up about 50 cents a share based on the closing of the problematic debt limit crisis in our federal government. But even with that, you can see that it shows a beta of 1.18 on Yahoo Finance. I think it's a little higher than that. And you can see the dividend is about 9% plus or minus C yield. Volume is pretty good, 150,000 shares a day. It's not one that's heavily traded, but it is liquid. Lastly, I'll go to some charting just for technical purposes. As you can see, it's been trending down with the stock market and the economy. And I've got the floor of the trend there at the bottom. As you can see, it looks like it's somewhere in the $17 range. This week, you can see at the very end that it's gone up from about $17.80 to $18.50. So it's broken through its short time trend to the upside. The long view has a top side right now at $20.85, but still trending downward. If you're looking at this as a long-term or maybe a mid-term trade, you might hit a $20 mark on this thing if stocks keep going up based on the debt ceiling raise. Otherwise, I think you're going to be in a trading range between about 17 and about 19.5, while you collect close to 9% dividend. That's not a bad deal, and it's definitely true real income. So to me, that's a pretty good deal in this point. You have to kind of watch it because it's real estate and the leverage. So there is some risk to this. It's not a no-brainer. If you've got appetite for a little risk and aren't too worried about the companies that they hold as far as the real estate holdings, it might be worth looking at. I like the dividend income. I don't think the real estate problem is going to be that incredibly bad, especially for the companies they hold. I may be wrong, but as you can see, they hold a pretty diversified holding of stocks. It's the leverage that might get it too. Plus, it's a closed-end fund, so please watch your step on that. With that, I'd like to say thank you for listening to JC Stocks and Markets podcast. I don't know if RNP is for you. I like it. Like I said, I bought some. I'm at a little bit of a loss now, but I'm holding it long term. I think real estate will definitely come back in the next few years, so I'm not that concerned about it, especially commercial real estate. It always does. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Hope you got something out of it. The music is from Just One Goat. The song is She's the One. I wrote it. The band Just One Goat played and recorded it. They did all the magic. Again, thank you for listening. Happy investing. Bye now.
It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. Everything is magical, even when she's not around. No, it's not that radical, I just know what I have found. Well, she's always there for me. It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. She's making my life so much stronger. God, let me stay just a little bit longer. She's the one. Yeah, she's the one. Yeah. Really is a crime. I've wasted all this